May these words meet you where you are and take you where you're meant to go. It is hot out here, so I am sweating. I live in South Florida, so I am sweating. But that's all right. It's also a beautiful form of detoxifying to be able to be in a natural sauna and steam room. So I'm not just about spilling the tea, it all serves a purpose. So let's talk about how boundaries can reveal to you who is seasonal in your life. So I want some boundaries from the sun. I mean, I want the sun because we get the codes there, you know what I'm saying? But the heat, the humidity, it's just a lot. It's a lot. Climate what? Change. Change is here. What do? We hydrate. And drinking water alone has not been able to sustain me when it comes to this heat. So I have been drinking watermelon juice with some lime. You can do cucumbers, you can do okra water. So many things to help hydrate the body. Coconut water is amazing with the electrolytes. So stay hydrated in this heat, okay? So who is dishonoring your boundaries? First and foremost, we dishonor our boundaries before anybody else does. And that is when you're saying yes, when you want to say no, when you are not following the discipline and the obedience that you know is required of you for whatever task that you embark upon, whether it be your spiritual journey, your health journey, whatever it is. These are the boundaries that we are sometimes not honoring and we're crossing. And so it makes it easier for us to allow others to cross our boundaries. But let's say you've done the healing. Let's say you have embarked upon the healing journey to be able to honor your boundaries and to live your best life. How do we recognize that people in our lives are seasonal? We can have a great time with them, but you'll begin to see patterns. You'll begin to see cycles. What you do is you address these cycles. If it's a trigger for you, certainly you want to confront yourself on the matter. But if it's something that you know good and well is your boundary, and not because it's triggering, but because it's something that you don't want in your life, that you don't tolerate, look at who is dishonoring that and how are they crossing that line and boundary. Choose your words wisely when you do confront that person about this boundary, because essentially you're sharing how you feel, and you don't necessarily have to share why you have this boundary, but that it is a boundary that exists. But if you do choose to share, amazing. It shows the intimacy and closeness that you have with the person. But once you have that conversation, honestly, the one time it's enough. Like if you do it again, come on now. But if you get to a second time of somebody crossing that boundary, then you know that this person is seasonal. You had a great time with them, but you recognize that you were in my life for a season. You served me and I served you in that time. Now it's time for me and for us to go our separate ways. Have grown beyond this, or you're not willing to accept me as I am, and so I have to set this boundary. It doesn't mean that you cut off that person altogether, but it does mean that there's going to be some distance. I can love you from a distance, but I cannot have you in my space too much because you are harmful. You are not safe. A person that crosses your boundaries is not a safe space. Safety is required to stabilize and regulate the nervous system. Safety is a requirement to honor your boundaries. So first start with yourself. Honor the boundaries that you have kept, the limits that you have set forth, and the rules that you have set forth. Of course, things can change. Let's not be too rigid. But if you know that you've set your mind to something, if you know what works for you and what does not work for you, then honor that with yourself first. And then you'll find that it will extend to other people because you want to keep the peace. And I don't mean keeping the peace by being silent, but by mitigating and existing within safe spaces. Until next time, walk in truth, move with grace, and protect your light.